What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B. Watch Davion T, where we go beyond that everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. We catching some vibes, you know what I'm saying? Some vibes, some vibes. Little vibe, you know what I'm saying? By the water. It's all nice and green outside, you know what I'm saying? Now, green water ain't a good sign, but you know what I'm saying? It's water nonetheless. Spiritual essence, you know what I'm saying? Um, Basically, this live is going to be about the how to basically prepare yourself for this new moon, you know what I'm saying? Look, low-key synchronicity, like gear up and float down, you know what I'm saying? Like just how the energy is right now, you know what I'm saying? It's gear up, so prepare your mind, get your mind right, and float down, you know what I'm saying? Float down in the sense of the fact of the matter is we in the winter season, we in the winter portion of the year, so you know things are dying off, but you know it's not a time to be too much in your remorse energy. Hopefully what you was doing this year was something conducive to what you actually want to continue to pursue and produce in your life. But you know, with every life, I mean with every, well, yeah, with every life, but with every year and every day really is a matter of you assessing, okay, what was I participating in, how much of that do I agree with and do I want to keep in my life, and how much do I want to get rid of. Is another opportunity to continue to refine what it is that you got going on in your life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will be going year after year, day after day. I'm talking year after year, but it's really day after day. They go day after day doing shit continuously, want to keep doing, and they wonder why they hate their life. They wonder why they so depressed. You depressed because you're literally pressing your true self. You're stuffing it down. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really understand, if I can't be honest with my heart and do what it is every day, get up and utilize my 24 hours to put effort towards seeing what I want to see and doing what I want to do. And all that comes from expressing what you really want to express, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people be keeping it so compressed down inside of them, they wonder why they depressed in life. It's like, you keep pressing all your true feelings down, and when you do that, see what happens is externally you miss opportunities to actually attract people who resonate on your truth, you know what I'm saying? So you continuously add on more people around you who also not in the space to want to contribute and give you, you know what I'm saying, reciprocate energy, because we in this world to relate. And so, you know, part of the reason why it's so important to express your true self and be who you are is so that you can attract the people who also resonate with that, who are being their true self, and y'all can reflect each other, and then that's a proper reciprocation of energy and things like that. You know what I'm saying? He said, in case no one has said this to you recently, thank you for being, remember, you are loved. Hey, shout out to Ghost Lord, real shit. You as well, you're loved too. Again, and that's the type of shit I like to see, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, yo. And that's the type of message everybody needs to receive as well. It's like, good look, it's like, you know, life is as beautiful as you make it, you know what I'm saying? Every day is another opportunity to get up and see something, you know what I'm saying, put something in the world, but also receive and see something that also resonates with you. Shout out to John 10, you know, said, is that Brazil? That's Brazil, you know what I'm saying? Trying to make a trip out to Brazil. Real shit, actually, for my birthday. I'm trying to slide through Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But let's get into the energy. So, you know what I'm saying, we talking some astrology shit. So like I said, this is like preparation for the new moon. We're leaving the moon in Scorpio, you know what I'm saying? Scorpio is that moon of, you know what I'm saying, every time we in Scorpio moon, it's a coin cost, you know what I'm saying? It's a coin toss, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's, shout out to Kyrie, said, love you, stay safe. You stay safe as well. Love all y'all, man. To everybody in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, hit that like button, you know what I'm saying? And go ahead, share this with somebody who needs a good message. But for the most part, you know, the moon in Scorpio, it always gets deep. But the cool thing about the moon being in Scorpio while the sun is in Capricorn is that Capricorn, see, this creates a sextile. This is an opportunity. And one of the most powerful things you could do with this energy is to face your own death for real. You know what I'm saying? When I say death, I mean transformation. Scorpio is that energy of intensity, right? But it's about also letting go of emotional biases. Every energy got a high octave, and every energy got an octave and a low octave. So when you talk about low octave, that's how this last person, who is it, Mr., you know what I'm saying, whatever his name is, see, he on some low octave Scorpio shit. You see, You know, he putting his energy in the wrong type of things. You know, see, this the type of person with a mind that don't really go in life. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Because they woke up and said, you know what, I'm gonna be a troll today. You know what I'm saying? So again, people who want to be trolls and shit, like the times these people be living very miserable realities, and so they have to transmute line to try to be funny and be approved by other people. You know what I'm saying? You say you're a Cancer, hey, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that Cancer energy. So you feeling this opposition for real. You know what I'm saying? Since we in Capricorn season, we away from your natural energies, but at the same time, you know, it creates a lot of balance. It's like this is a good time for you to gain some in your life and things like that. So where that Cancer energy likes to be more correlated to its own sensitivity and expressing feelings and things like that, now is a time where you might find yourself having to, you know, take the same things that you care about, but instead more like a responsibility, and maybe you know, choosing to kind of put more action and effort into the realistic aspects of things, or taking care of things. Honestly, as a Cancer, you already know how to take care of things, but this is you seeing the other side of taking care of things, which is the actual practical means, or coming up with a plan or a structure for something and things like that. Now, talking about getting back to the moon in Scorpio. So the moon in Scorpio, again, like I said, it's a deep energy, a fixed water energy, right? So it's already making you aware of the emotional depths, some of these deeper things that again, like I said in the beginning of the live, things that you might be clinging to as an emotional bias. And Capricorn, the cool thing about the Capricorn energy or the Capricorn season is it gives you actually the right perspective these things in a practical like manner. So with this combination of energy, it's an opportunity to dive deep within yourself and actually put or enforce, I'll say the word enforce, because that Capricorn energy is able to actually initiate, enforce, and restriction on whether it be an emotional bias that you know you got to let go, or certain things that you might be involved in that represent that lower octave of Scorpio energy, which is being too locked into, you know, Scorpio energy could be too behind closed doors, too looking at things to try to manipulate. Now, that manipulation energy might be on a lot of people's minds, on some low level shit, on some low octave shit. You will people maybe start to lean towards being more manipulative for the sake of maybe getting a dollar, or they seeing what you got, see your status, and trying to infiltrate your, so they can kind of tap in and take from you, you know what I'm saying? Because see, the thing about Capricorn with a positive, it really ain't no good or bad, but this one of the things about Capricorn is it's always, since we in Capricorn season, everyone's aware of they and other people's status. So this Scorpio energy on a lower octave is going to be people kind of looking and rubbing their chin like, who can I take from? Who can I use? I can use this and I can use that. So people might start to come forward to you on some kind of sneaky shit or manipulative shit. But the higher octave of this energy is you actually take responsibility for yourself and your own circumstance, and making certain decisions that are concrete in your actual forward development and things like that. You know what I'm saying? You said thank you for teaching me, but I have to go. Okay, yeah. See, hey, you already know it's a live recording, so you can catch the playback. But I appreciate you coming through. You stay safe as well. And shout out to Ton of Vision up in here. You know what I'm saying? We got a crazy joint coming for y'all, man. We got a crazy joint. We got a crazy joint coming, man. We cooking up. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the type of energy though, when you're talking about Scorpio and Capricorn, this is a very powerful energy, because what can happen is you could be highly motivated to really make some difference, some change in your life that can set up a nice structure for you moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Now we coming out of the Scorpio energy, you know what I'm saying? I know I ain't gonna say I'm late, you know what I'm saying, but I'm a little late on Scorpio. But we're gonna talk about the preparation for the new moon. So it's really right on time on some real shit. So, you know, leaving that Scorpio energy, hopefully you utilize it in a way that you was paying attention to some of the things you would rather take serious, and putting a lot more structure to your passion, your motivations, like the things that actually get you to get up and move towards something in life. You was actually adding some more structure, hopefully planning those things out, and putting more restrictions on things that's taking you out of your energies of being highly, you know, your energy on the highest octave is like super invested into something to the point where they make things happen just based upon how intense their concentration is. And when the Scorpio puts their concentration in the right areas of life, things like magic happens. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing with every Scorpio. Every Scorpio is born with such intensity. But what often happens is Scorpio goes through life And let's say they go through certain things, they might not catch it, and they might not invest that intensity into the right areas of life and shit like that. So a lot of times when you see Scorpio that's kind of on the lower octave or find themselves on the other side of success, or on the other things like where things is not really working for them, or they're just too involved into the wrong shit, it's because they didn't quite know where to invest that energy. Because Scorpio's whole thing is knowing how to release and knowing where to be through creativity or some kind of external, whether it be a physical activity, something that, and it's both internal and external. It's a mental thing, but it's also a physical thing too. If they don't have the proper release systems, they might find themselves invested into the wrong things, or overindulging behind closed doors and things that's kind of taboo, or things that might globally or widely accepted by other individuals and things like that. And that the point is to be accepted, but it becomes difficult. It's like you kind of create your own, it's like a witchcraft you put on yourself when you are invested into an energy, but you don't want people to know. You know what I'm saying? So Scorpios might come around you and you be like, man, you up to something. Like me, I'm a Scorpio rising, so I deal with that a lot. People like, especially in my personal life, since it's a rising, it's in my first house, people like, it's like, it's like the closer they get to me, the more they think I'm up to them. And it's like, nah, if you really look at a Scorpio, sometimes they do be up to stuff, but sometimes it's just the way they are. It's like what they're investing their energy into, you're just not aware of it. So you catch the aura and shit like that. And if it's something that's questionable, again, you'll have a Scorpio around you who might be into something. And honestly, a lot of it is the person who's receiving it, based upon what their mind is on, they're gonna put a projection onto what we think that energy is. So a lot of times when you got heavy Scorpio energy, especially a Scorpio rising, you gotta kind of sometimes let individuals know ahead of time what you're doing. Whether they believe you or not, it doesn't matter. You just gotta let them know, so they can have an idea that can direct what they finna project on you anyway. Because people just be projecting shit, especially these days. People just be projecting. So you gotta let them know, be clear, be transparent, and you to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we got planes and shit flying above. But anyway, the moon sliding into Sagittarius, the expansion on that. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully on a high octave, right? All that Scorpio energy was helping you kind of go to the depths of things. You kind of get more serious on your transformation and saying, okay, if I'm going to make something happen for me in this upcoming shit, and we know, again, calendar year is that Masonic year. It's this Masonic year coming up, but the real new year is going to be in March. So don't get confused, understand how to put this energy in context, meaning, okay, this is mapping for the actual springtime, right? So to prep for the springtime, we gotta go through the winter. So I'm putting depth to things. I'm creating new structures, new boundaries, in order for me to etch out a new blueprint for me to get things going in the right way as we actually enter the new year, the real new year in March. You know what I'm saying? So in Aries season. So a lot of what that entails is, right now with the moon in Sagittarius interact the moon in Capricorn, you said life is summer, death is winter. Exactly. So again, keep that in mind. Shout out to Josh, because in so many ways, this is not the time to be trying to start nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Anything, this is the time for you to kind of clean out the rest of what didn't work previously. Let's get all of that out first. You know what I'm saying? And I know sometimes you be in situations where it kind of feels like the start of something, but it's okay to kind of entertain the potential of something budding as a new seed coming in the springtime. But instead of fully committing to it, try to sit back and observe more of its dynamics, so that you can come up with, a plan of action. So let's say you got a new business idea you want to introduce right now, and you might be super excited for it, right? Instead of just jumping the gun, hold on for a second and make sure that you took enough time to observe different possible outcomes, maybe flesh out those details a little bit more, and come up with an actual plan of action. Like, this is a great time to look at your life for springtime. Look at the life that you're trying to live for yourself, whatever you manifested for yourself, and treat it like a rollout. If y'all don't know what a rollout is, so when an artist is about to drop an album, they'll do a bunch of marketing things beforehand to get people excited and get it on people's mind, and boom, when it's ready to drop, people are already like excited for it, and then boom, it could take off. So treat your life a little bit like a rollout right now, where you want to kind of sit back and observe, okay, how do I actually want to take my first step in this new endeavor? And before you actually take that step, just take a moment to etch out the details and look at some parameters and potential restrictions. Because a lot of this, like when you talk about Capricorn energy, Capricorn is about gathering resources and knowing things. Capricorn is about creating structure. You know what I'm saying? Creating a system. And a system is powerful because when you create a system, what you end up is efficiency. The better your system, the more efficient you can be, right? Now, efficiency is something that can save you a certain amount of effort, but still execute the plan or the goal in a successful way. So people who go about things, and let's say they don't really have a system to life. Let's say you run a company and you don't really got a system, but you've been successful in selling things every now and then, right? What happens is if you don't have a proper system, you end up wasting a lot more energy and using a lot more effort in the long run than people who are able to identify, okay, this is my system, and refine their system over time. Because see, when you're trying to scale a business, for those, you know what I'm saying, who don't know, if you're trying to make a business bigger, right? Like when you first start a business, and let's say it's just you and a friend, it's real easy for y'all, between y'all two, to say, okay, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, you do all the rest, right? And split it down the middle. But let's say you getting more and more orders, your business is taking off. That might be a good thing, but the bad thing is, oh shit, we need more people. So when you're trying to add more people onto your business, let's say, how are you gonna communicate to accomplish the goals of the company? See, between y'all two, y'all started it, so it's y'all idea. Y'all already know it. But these new people you bringing on, you already know, probably working a job right now as a clerk or something like that, and you don't give a fuck about how that business ran. But you, guess what? When you first came into work, you expected somebody to train you and give you an idea of what you're supposed to be responsible for. Without that, you would have fucked up on your first day and things like that. And that's how a lot of businesses are either unable to scale, get bigger, or they fail because they don't have a proper system in place. They don't have in which they can bring people on and quickly give them the rundown on how things operate. And then see, with a system also, it gives you a frame of reference, a realistic frame of reference, to be able to see what works and what doesn't work, so that you can make adjustments and improve. So look at all of that mentality is the type of shit that's mine. Like a boss's mind. Like if you really want to be in, see, that's Capricorn in right there, the boss. To be the boss, how they say, you know what I'm saying, that corny cliche shit. To be the boss, you got to pay the cost type shit. And the cost is sacrifices also that you need to put in place in order to get things right and structured. And that's kind of where the moon that we coming out of, the moon in Scorpio, kind of, it kind of shows you where you at in that whole scheme of things. Are you actually ready to let go of those things and sacrifice some of those things that might feel good, that you might still be clinging on to, whether it be an emotional bias or something you two invested in behind closed doors? Are you ready to let go of these things in order for you to expand? Or are you still on some childish shit mentally as a spirit and want to revert back to escapism, aka the moon going into Sagittarius, instead of putting yourself in a position to take more responsibility over your knowledge and what you know? Instead of doing that, you gonna have to, instead of doing that, you playing that kind of retrograde young spirit energy where you like, nah, I want to be escapism. I want to have fun. I don't want to take those responsibilities on. I don't want to expand. So you're not really expanding on nothing real. Shout out to Reed. Hey, what's up? He said, pay the cost to be the boss like James Brown. Hey, exactly like Brown. The big payback type shit. Yeah, like exactly like James Brown. You know what I'm saying? That James Brown shit. Hey, that's some good energy to be in right now. You know what I'm saying? James Brown. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So you got to keep your mind locked in right now. You got to understand, like, yo, the whole idea of things right now is to expand it. Well, I'll say this, like the moon going in Sagittarius is going to have you expand on something. You either expanding on your real responsibilities and what you're trying to structure for yourself, or you're going to be on some expansive shit, but in a childish sense. You're going to want to revert back to something that you feel more comfortable. And so instead of actually stepping into those new responsibilities, remember, this is preparation for the new moon. So this is you getting psyched up for it. But instead of stepping up to the plate, this is going to be you kind of finding something else to do to get lost in. And then all of a sudden, when this new moon energy comes, you're not even going to have your feet in the ground, able to move and put shit in the right place. You know what I'm saying? He said, not the revert law. Shout out to Sani. Hopefully I said that right. Nacy, is that how you say that? He said, exactly, darling. it is coming part of it. Right shit, real shit. You know what I'm saying? Feel steam. Exactly. We gotta move. You know what I'm saying? What it say? I told y'all, look, gear up and float down. You know what I'm saying? You gotta float down on some shit. Float down. I mean, to make something real. You know what I'm saying? We gotta move forward so we can start to make this real in life. And actually, you said, send aid. And you said, we stand. Hey, okay, you know what I'm saying? What up? Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. I fuck with still said it wrong. Hopefully I didn't though. Hey, what up, Joel? Real shit. We gotta bring shit down. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like the type of life you trying to live for yourself. Like what you actually trying to. Also, we got some vibes too. I don't know, y'all see the new people y'all seen. We got some vibes for real. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's time to bring some things down so we can create some new structures. And again, all of this is setting us up 2025. You know what I'm saying? Me and Mooney Mercury, baby, shout out to him. We did a live, we did a recording. You can check out on his page talking about some of the upcoming trends in 2025. But you know, I got a lot going on. I got to get back to work and shit like that. So I don't have enough time to go into all of the trends. But I will talk and break down what the moon is doing currently. So right now with the moon in Sagittarius, you know, it's going to be, I believe, trining Mars if Mars hasn't gone to Cancer yet. So with that energy, right, the moon trining Mars, this is also, again, we have to learn a lot more about our past in a general sense. Like, you know, I know a lot of times a learning process from a square, it comes from a square, but this is a trine. So learning is a gift right now when it comes to in our passions that can help it expand. So we need to kind of figure out what it is that we actually trying to expand on as far as what we passionately invested into. With the moon, let's see, Mercury is in what? Mercury is in Aquarius at the moment, right? No, Mercury, what the fuck is Mercury at? Fucking damn, you said I am a doer. Yeah, real shit. Yeah, shout out to Mooney. You said it's a replace spiritual with doer. You know what I'm saying? Because we out here doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? We really making stuff happen. But when it comes to, hold on, where Mercury is in, oh wait, Mercury might be in, I forgot, man. Where's Mercury at? I think, let's go with the moon. Let's see, Jupiter is in Gemini. Let's talk about that first. So the moon opposite Jupiter, for the most part, again, feeling opposite to our experiences in general. So we still might be trying to see what it is we trying to invest ourselves into, what it is that we trying to expand into. Again, this is trying to fill out what the experience is trying to give us as far as like a direction and things like that. That's why right now trying to start something new might not be the idea. You might want to actually fully develop and flesh out what it is that you want to do. Decide that first. You said Mercury's still in Sag. Appreciate you. Okay, cool. That's what I thought, and I didn't want to misspeak. But okay, Mercury's still in Sag. So with Mercury in Sag too, that's cool. That's the moon conjuncting with Mercury right there. So that's kind of like our mind and heart having the opportunity to be on the same page. But hopefully that same page is in the direction of growth and expansion, and not in the page of kind of still wanting, like I said before, escapism. So again, you might start to feel when it comes to looking at, because being that the sun is in, we're going through Capricorn season, so the sun is there. We're seeing all the things that we're actually supposed to be taking responsibility of. So don't let that scare you. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that moon in Scorpio gave you more motivation to get it than it did giving you too much of like maybe a nightmare energy where you're like, damn, I don't really think I want to do that. And honestly, pay attention to, because it could also play out in the way of you looking at things that you're up to be responsible for and deciding for yourself that, yo, I really don't want to be responsible for that. So if that's the case, then that's you, again, you're able to pull back and, you know what I'm saying, make that decision to say, oh, let me change course. Because we're still dealing with a cardinal energy in Capricorn. You know, Capricorn is still the initiator of something new. So you don't have to get too invested. If you see yourself going in a direction that you don't like for yourself, that's why I said with Capricorn energy, you got to see, what do you want to be the boss or authority over? And if it's something you don't want to be responsible for, then you could pull back and not go that way. You said love and light, BS, get out our way. You said peace and love, BS, get out our way. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, when it comes to yeah, Mercury being a Sag still too, that's an energy. We still got that Mercury and Jupiter opposition and things like that. So, you know, we're trying to balance out what we know to be true and what we want to believe as far as, you know, what's going on. Like we that energy is both squaring Saturn and Pisces. So Saturn and Pisces is also kind of getting lit up a little bit, and we got the North Node moving into Pisces. So we're kind of feeling this energy of getting prepared to kind of switch gears and things like that. So instead of having that Aries energy of moving, you know what I'm saying, we, as far as our spiritual path, being so invested into self, now it's about, okay, how can we connect this or get more connected to our spiritual path in sense of, you know, you supposed to spend all of that Aries North Node energy really like investing into trailblazing, basically, like you setting yourself on fire in a sense, right? And when I say setting yourself on fire, that means like being invested into what it is that you want to see and expressing that to the fullest, you know what I'm saying, kind of on some regardless of what other people think and feel. So because now going into Pisces, now you're going to start to deal with being connected. And so being connected, you might start to catch vibes from different areas and places that aren't really yours. But if you didn't establish your identity during that North Node of Aries, you might find it difficult to continue to stay on that same path when the node shifts into Pisces. And so what'll happen is you'll find yourself doing South Node Virgo shit, which is starting to be responsible, worried, stressed about other people's path instead of your own. And that's not the case. That's not what we're supposed to do. Instead, we're supposed to have used all of that North Node and Aries energy to get us very clear on what it is that we want as an individual and to set ablaze that direction, right? By default, all relationships that didn't coincide with that from the South Node and Libra should have kind of found themselves to fall off. You know what I'm saying? Just naturally fall off, separate, even if it wasn't no animosity, just a very clear distance and separation from what I'm on versus what they on. And that should have cleared the way for you to have more opportunity and space to attract those who are supposed to be relating to you. And this is going to be making the dream work, right? This is going to be the new people coming around who you actually going to be able to live with and build with. But first and foremost, that North Node shift, the South Node in Virgo, is going to be more so you being very focused on the details that's going to take for you where you want to go as far as your dream wise. You know what I'm saying? So keep in mind as well, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the pursuit of things, your spiritual path and where you want to go with that. Now the moon, right, I think the North Node is still like 1 degree Aries. So there is like trine with it. So this is kind of still giving you that emotional expansion on what it is, like kind of you being able to look at what you was experiencing a couple years. Really, like you could look at this previous year, but also the last couple years, certain things should start to make sense now. You know what I'm saying? Certain things should be coming to you as to why you do certain experiences and what kind of led for things to kind of happen or did. You know, things are starting to make sense. That's kind of how Capricorn season works too, and why I said it's cool to kind of sit back and observe during Capricorn, because it's like you kind of, you know, when you looking at the depth of something, how they say hindsight is 20/20 and shit like that. At the depth portion of things, this is where you actually really do get a lot of clarity on why certain things went the direction they did, coming out of the sun being in Sagittarius. Again, hopefully you was doing what you're supposed to do, and that should have gave you all the expansion and awareness to be able to fully kind of get the meaning and reasoning to now make sense out of in Capricorn season. So now you looking at it like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to Jackie New. Yeah, like she said, like the live. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people up in here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all. You know what I'm saying? You said on our way to the new world. We are building. Exactly. Real shit. Exactly. That's the attitude we gotta be when it comes to people, like when it comes to you know, how we approaching life in the world right now. I look at it like, okay, what am I building for myself? What am I setting myself up for? And that new moon in Capricorn is going to be a lot of that energy, where it's like a new responsibility, a new blueprint. Let's create that new blueprint. And that blueprint needs to look, again, you want to shape and form it. Because see, the thing about it is, when we talk about this shit, like the reason I be going hard for the spiritual shit is because in a sense, what it really is supposed to mean, we're at the point where it's become diluted. The word spiritual and shit like that is become diluted. But from what I mean when I say that shit, I'm really talking about like you being your truest self, truest version of you, the raw shit, the shit that actually inspires others to do the same. You know, so it's like, you know, I'm talking about really getting into your truth and expressing that full force. And when you do that, it's like an embodiment It's really an embodiment of your own energy. And what that does is it sends signals to other individuals who see and come into contact with, to inspire them to do the same thing. And then all of a sudden, what you start to see is around you is individuals get activated. And when you see other individuals get activated, all of a sudden, it's like, even if we got differences and our mind be on different, we still got that same inclination to just produce truth. You know what I'm saying? And in that sense, that's how we actually all grow, and that's how we also change the world in some kind of way, because we start other individuals and we get connected with people, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in the right time with the right people around you to actually do something productive, do something that look like something real, instead of continuing to be dependent on a system that you know ain't y'all favor. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like the essence of what I'm getting at. MXB said, you spot on, twin. Hey, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. He said, okay, got to go, keep going. Hey, appreciate you. He said, right. Exactly. So, that's really what we on right now. So, this new age and shit, it's like, look, it's no more time to play around, because a lot of the shifts that are going down, we're gonna start to experience a lot more of that Aries energy in the areas of life, like Saturn, where structures gotta be completely demolished and built from the jump, you know what I'm saying, from the root and shit like that. So a lot of what we're doing now is preparing our own selves, our minds, and kind of formula status around who we actually are, so that we can walk in our truth in the proper way, like that. And that's going to look like something real. That's going to look like something solid that actually should be respected. Hold on, let me see. All right, I gotta be careful because I'm running out of battery. You know what I'm saying? I should have charged up before I went. But so that's what's going on. We got Saturn at Aries. We already know that Neptune's going to be moving into Aries. So this is going to be a lot of people. Again, either you're fighting for the right, fighting for a delusion that's really destroying you. And a lot of people, we already see people kind of get hooked in on that lostness, you know what I'm saying? People who's invested into aliens and shit like that, they just fighting the wrong fights. And that's really all it comes down to. They're fighting the wrong fights. They got swept up by whatever the government was kicking. That's really just a distraction to occupy their energy and focus. And see, that's the planting of the seeds. And a lot of them see, like Neptune going in Aries, you're going to get people who are waging war on shit that don't exist. People confused about drones, you know what I'm saying? You got, they over here convincing people that the government don't know where these drones coming from, even though they're the same people who licensed and created these things. Like, so you got the military don't know where the drones came from. Apparently the government is thinking it's a foreign country, and so they're getting everyone wrapped into that kind of ideology of nationalism and all that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But again, we're going to talk about that in a different live. For the rest of this one, though, I want to focus in on some of these energies. So I talked about the moon being opposite Jupiter, the moon being conjunct Mercury. So this is a good time for, allowing your imagination. See, also Sagittarius is the travel long distance of the mind. So when you're thinking of, the moon conjuncting Mercury, right before this new moon in Capricorn, again, start to allow yourself to expand as far as what you see as a possibility, right? And if it's something you actually want to bring into fruition, if it's something you actually want to start to build on and work on and eventually be responsible or a boss or authority over, and when I say boss and authority over, make sure you're directing this to yourself. It's always a boss and authority over yourself rather than trying to be a boss and authority over another external person, place, or thing, because that'll get you kind of fucked up a little bit, because you'll be doing it inverted way. That's what you might see a lot of low octave individuals trying to do right now, take power over you or take authority over you in some kind of way. So also create boundaries. That's why it's good to create boundaries against that as well. Start to see where people might be their energy onto you and block you from being you, you know what I'm saying, just because they connected to you and maybe just your status in some kind of way. Don't allow that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow that to happen. Instead, put all your energy and focus in being an authority over yourself. So that means if I'm responsible for myself and I'm taking my own self accountability, that means any instance I'm slipping or not doing what I'm supposed to do to produce the type of result I want to see reflected back to me in life, that's my fault. And it ain't got nothing to do with, guess what? Chances are with that mentality alone, you'll start to accumulate a lot more and be in a space and position to receive, and but also to recognize and be aware of where there are opportunities for you to invest your energy into as well. So don't lose sight of that. Keep that on point. You know what I'm saying? But getting back to what I was saying about the energy. So getting back to what I was saying about the moon, with the moon in Sagittarius right next to Mercury, we can actually start to see a little further ahead and decide for ourselves what it is that we actually want to manifest with it. And that's gonna incorporate, that's something we can incorporate into what we set off as far as the new moon goes. You know what I'm saying? So when we the new moon, we spend enough time seeing the image to create enough faith, which you don't know, faith is like fuel. So a lot of times people will get lost in faith and believe in shit and never actually go do it. You know what I'm saying? But that's why, again, we out here, we instead of just looking at it and having blind faith and saying, well, when to come to me, instead we pursue what it is. Well, we allow it to come to us. Basically, we allow by embodying it in the first place, right? You got to be it to see it. So it's of being able to see the whole imagination, to have faith in something, right? But you have faith in it, now it's time to embody it. So because I believe in it, I'm gonna practice it. I'm gonna practice what I preach every day, and by default, it's gonna attract to me because I'm sending out a signal that, hey, this is something I'm responsible for. This is something I'm embodying this energy. That's how the universe kind of works. It's like whatever you embody is gonna approach you. How they kind of say, what you are pursuing is pursuing you. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that in mind. So every time you find yourself going a little too external to get something, you got to keep in mind that same thing is trying to chase you. So if you keep running away from it, it's almost like if you keep chasing things, you'll run away from it. Versus knowing how to embody it, you bring it to you. It's already pursuing you. So these things will start to come towards you, and you'll be able to see the opportunities and actually materialize, taking advantage of it and jumping into the energy, jumping into the spot because you can see it, right? And it towards you. But sorry I'm rushing y'all because I got 5%. I got to get back to work and shit like this. But you going in. So when it comes to let's see, so the moon is going to be squaring Mercury. So this is going to be feeling uncomfortable about responsibilities at the moment, or reality in some kind of way. You might have to learn again how to kind of manage your emotional state as far as what you're trying to build for yourself. This is kind of like you have to kind of get over any kind of false perception of what is going to actually manifest something for you. You know what I'm saying? You might be looking at something that you've been trying to work towards for a time, but because of how you believe, like your belief of it, and you know, you might have to kind of learn a different way of how to approach like the emotional reactivity to the reality and the restrictions that might be presented. For instance, if there's a goal you got, and let's say you believe that in order to get that goal, you got to do certain things that make you feel uncomfortable. Well, you know, you might have to either to get over that, like learn how to just get over that. You know, the moon is like, it's good for that. It's good for being blunt and just to the point. Like, let's get over that. Let's expand ourselves and go through the experience so that we can see for ourselves whether or not that delusion or imagination is even true or not. So you might have to kind of put a little light in the dark area of something that you want to believe or want to have faith in, and kind of switch it a little bit. You may not be a restriction. The real restriction, the one in your own mind. So that's kind of an aspect in which you got to kind of keep on. Let's see, the moon also is gonna be, let me see if I can make it to the whip. Hold on. The moon is also going to be, let's see, the moon is also going to be, what else? What we got? Uranus. The moon is also going to be in conjunction Uranus. So misunderstanding your uniqueness, or misunderstanding how to feel about your unique expansion. So you might be, again, on that Uranus and Taurus shit, you know, you already know that in order to create stability, you got to be, you know, your unique self. That's where the value is. But you might still not see the full vision of how your uniqueness is going to kind of apply. Like, you might still have to go through, and again, a misunderstanding, an in conjunction isn't like a very harsh alignment. So it might not be as negative, but it is a process that you have to care of. You just might misunderstand where your uniqueness can expand, or that, you know, where you might have to learn a little bit more about yourself in order to actually make that space that you're trying to make real. Because like with Uranus and Taurus, it's like we have a rare opportunity in life right now to make kind of magic, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like in the sense of being that we in this infrastructure shift and all these new technologies and things available to us, it's like we're able to do things that wasn't possible back then when they was first coming up with a lot of these industries where, you know, there was gatekeepers and things like that. We are fully past the keeper thing. So it's really no excuse. It's really no excuse not to get something going for yourself at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Any excuse, hold on. Any excuse to kind of not get something going for you, low key, is a reflection of your own, just whether it be laziness, it's a reflection of your laziness, or it's a reflection of because part of it is laziness, but another part of it could just be, you know, you not finding it yet, you not know what it is that you want to be invested in and take it serious. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, you know, and this is where I give some grace. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you be going through life, and yeah, there's different opportunities and things like that, but you just might not be seeing it because you don't know yet. You haven't made a decision. A lot of it comes down to making a decision. And a lot of people waste a lot of time in life because they haven't made a decision. Once you make a decision, it makes life a lot more easy, because it's like it gives you a point of reference. It gives you a line of direction. So when you going down that line of direction because you made a decision, it doesn't really, a lot of times people get hemmed up, right decision or not, but you kind of missing the point. The point of making the decision is just to go in the direction. And just like in natural life, when you experience something, you learn new information along the way that can you make better decisions that along the way. You feel me? Like, it's like you could be going in one direction, but I mean, only a fool would not get new information and stick with the same thing and ignore the information they got. Anybody intelligent understands that, okay, if I'm going to the store and when I on my way to the store, a building falls 20 feet ahead of me, a building falls or something blocks the road, I'd be a fool to try to keep going in that same. No, I'm gonna try to come up with a different direction around shit. You know what I'm saying? So you can only learn shit if you're actually pursuing it. So if you don't make the decision, you're gonna constantly be in that. You're not making a decision gonna keep you stuck. And that's why a lot of people end up feeling stuck in their life, because it's like they haven't made a decision towards anything. So they're not moving anywhere, and they're not experiencing, so they're not learning, they're not getting new information. So they still got a baby mind on the thing that they're trying to pursue that's not allowing no kind of growth. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta get beyond that shit. You gotta like push through that shit. And again, it just start with a decision. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the simplest thing. Again, I give grace because I understand in this world sometimes you be looking and trying to calculate what makes the most sense, and then you got people in your ear telling you, well, you should do this and you should do that. Man, I had to go through it so much, especially I had to go through so much of kind of just understanding that even people who mean the most wellness for you, like people who mean well and shit like that, even them, they don't always know what's best for you. Just because someone means well just doesn't mean they know what's best for you, one. And the only one who really know best for you is you. Now, that's to say it's not cool to take it, you know, to listen to people. Like I'm an advocate for listening. Like, listen to what's around you and shit like that, because that information that's where the wisdom is, if you know how to apply it. But you don't have to take what people say as law just because they care about you type shit. And that might be more of a water sign thing. But I think anybody being raised as a child, you know what I'm saying? Like, Aquarius might be like, man, fuck all that to begin with, man. Shit, Aries might be like, fuck all that to begin with. But as kids, we all was kids at one point, or growing up, and thought that even, you know what I'm saying, oh, when someone gave us advice, it might have been, you know, again, it's like we grow up in a world, we think that others know better than us until we actually get to that awareness to be like, yo, people don't know shit. We start making our own decisions. But it just comes down to making the decision, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that, you know. But getting back to what I was saying about Uranus and Taurus, it's like this is a fresh time in which we can really innovate and push for something new that can create grounding and the potential for you to create foundation and structure for yourself, right? But you got to be willing to kind of take that responsibility. Again, it goes kind of back to that responsibility thing I was talking about. Uranus and Taurus is going to try and it's currently trying in Capricorn. So right now is the time to actually take that new unique part of you that can, the new structure to put something together that can create value, that you can maybe create a foundation for yourself on. Saying this now is the time to actually take that value, that raw value, put it in something, invest it into something. Like, I like to look at Capricorn also as an investment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the initiating earth energy. It's like, you know, and again, investments, that when you really on some budget, when you really understand money, like, people, it's kind of funny. It's like, if you just working a job, right, you kind of on the lowest level of getting money just to get a job. A job is great. I'm not talking shit about getting a job. That's the basic block. Like, that's where you start. But when you start to understand how money work, that job, the money you get from it, you need to learn how to make money while you're not working that job physically. How to make money when I'm not physically, while I'm not awake, for instance. You do that through investments, investing, understanding, you know, of course, like stuff like that, but understanding how investment work. Oh, my money can make money while I'm physically not doing anything to earn it. That's wealth. That's how you accumulate wealth. So, you know, when you're looking at these different, so I look at Capricorn energy as investment. You know what I'm saying? Knowing where to invest your energy so that you can get the most out of something without necessarily having to physically do it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Passive streams of income. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Because when you got passive income, see, they fucked the game up because they got a lot of people to think passive income was, oh, be an entrepreneur. But no, being an entrepreneur is a full-time job. It's a full-time job. You got to put a lot of energy work into something to be an entrepreneur. Real passive income is understanding how to invest that money that you made from that 9 to 5 you got, or like where to put it in, whether it's real estate, whether it's this, that. Like, it's so many different things that, you know, it's so many different ways other than just that one way to get bread and shit like that. But, you know, Capricorn is the kings and queens of that, because Capricorn energy understands the dynamic. It understands that, yo, I don't have to be, why would I see the difference between, right, leveraging credit? Exactly. That's a perfect example. Credit. Because a person will say, oh, credit, I could buy and afford and just pay it later. And then they'll pay the minimum fee until they had a time, and now it's crazy amount of interest on their shit. So now they went broke trying to buy something that they could have bought if they just waited a little bit and smarter with their investments and fuck their credit up. Versus when you understand how credit works, you understand, oh, if I put this on credit, but I'm able to pay it off in an amount of time to prevent interest, that, like, you know, I can't, it's too much to go into to really give y'all the full game. But that's the type of shit that you, on some realistic stuff, like if you really trying to be successful in the world, like third dimensional wise and shit, and get your money right, and which I'm an advocate for as well. It's got to be balanced. All the spiritual shit we talk, we gotta make it balanced. You know what I'm saying? It's got to make sense in the world too. You said it make the banks look good, right? Exactly, it make the banks look good. See, and that's the type of shit that we really should be on. Where, because see, if you gotta think, man, if you really trying to do real things in the world, you gotta understand how systems work so that you can create good relationships with these industries and things like that. Like, you need to, like, you get incentives and bonuses based upon having a good face card with a bank. And what I mean about a good face card, it means the bank recognizes you as doing good business. They give you better interest rates. They give you better, you know, say options as far as whether it's information, whether it's access to different, you know, bonuses and things like that. It's like different ways that you can play with these systems in place. And it goes back to what I was saying about system and why, you know, when you're on your own and as an individual, in spiritual sense, Capricorn energy, yeah, you want to create good systems for yourself. So that look like taking care of yourself in certain ways, making sure that you have enough balance in your life when it comes to work life, and you got enough time in the day for, you know, saying self-care and things like that. Like creating a system for your day. It's like an elevated routine, right? The Virgo energy, the 6th house, but then to get to the 10th house, we have to take that routine and make a system. So it's like an elevated routine. That's what a system is. It's like structured. It's just an elevated routine. So when you're thinking about, so yeah, like I was saying, spiritual aspect of things, you want to create things for your own life. So think about what you're trying to manifest for yourself.
How can you create a system out of that? How can and when I say create a system out of that, it's like a blueprint for little things you can do throughout your day to help you on the pursuit of what it is you're trying to bring into your life. It's easier said than done, and even how I'm saying it, hopefully I'm not losing nobody, because it's like I'm saying it and to me it makes sense, but hopefully it makes sense to y'all in y'all head. It's like, look at Capricorn season as time to sit back and say, okay, if I want to achieve whatever it is, I figure out what it's going to take day after day to get there. And then I need to create like an elevated routine out of this. I need to, based upon your area of life, that's going to be the area of life to take more serious in order to get to that level, in order to be able to establish that for yourself. So, what I'm saying, first house, you might have to do it more personally, take yourself more personally serious, or get more restrictive on your personal time and with personal life and shit like that. Like, yo, I gotta take my own personal time more serious. Personal, second house, value and the things you value, you might have to be more very specific about what it is that you actually putting value into. You might not be needing to value all of that at the moment, or you might have to put restrictions on other to take what it is that you have that is of value. You know what I'm saying? You might have to be like, wait a minute, let me be more serious about this and put this in the proper place. Third house, people around you or neighborhood, or just the thoughts and feelings that you frequent. You know what I'm saying? Frequent things on your mind. Like, man, I be having too much shit on my mind. I need to clear a lot of that out so I can get more serious and put better thoughts and feelings in my immediate surroundings, so that I can take more time to build what I want to build. Fourth house, I need to be more serious about my heart and what I'm connected to. I might be connected to all the wrong things that's making it difficult to create structure in my life and things like fifth house. I might need to put more restrictions or take my expression a lot more serious, so that people don't think I'm always joking, or actually with a Capricorn fifth house, people never think you joking. But again, I might need to chill out. I might need to ease up on how serious I'm expressing myself. Maybe I need to have more fun so that I can have fluidity in my life or something like that. Sixth house, I need to take my routine more serious so that I can put more structure in place, and do more things when it comes to my routine, and this is going to help me build up to where I want to go. Seventh house, being more restrictive on maybe certain relationships and how you engage in with them, and it's certain things you might be relating to, you need to take it more, that relationship, you got to take it a little more serious. Or if you recognize that it's not something serious, or that you want to potentially be responsible for, let me pull back and let me redirect and figure out what I actually want to be serious about. Eighth house, behind closed things like that, too invested into the wrong things, man. I'm too invested in things behind closed doors that's taken away from energy I need to be putting towards what I actually deeply desire. Not just that pleasure, or not just that thing that nobody knows that I be into, that I really be too much time into. Ninth house, spirit. I need to learn and be more serious about what it is, what the information is I'm expanding on, and things like that. I need to take that more serious, and I need to start building with some of the things. Oh, I know enough now. I didn't learn too much. I need to actually put it into action. 10th house, say this is where it belongs. So this is you saying, okay, let me go out and actually broadcast this shit. Let me go ahead and be the boss of this shit. 11th house, my associations, I'm associated to the wrong things, or too many things. I need to put restrictions on this. Or my connections, I need to start to uh, be used and utilize my associations in a way that's going to help me build structure and things like that. Dreams house, I need to make sure I'm not getting too wrapped up into delusion that's preventing me from actually making something out of these different things. All these imaginations I have be holding me back. I need to take these things more serious and make them real. You know what I'm saying? So all aspects of these different areas of life, when it comes to Capricorn season, a elevated routine to make a system out of it. So this system is the blueprint that's going to get me to what I actually want to start to see in my life. And you be the authority over that in order to produce those kinds of results. If you don't, again, you find yourself where you'll be in a situation where a tower moment will occur that forces you to have to take responsibility over it anyway. So I advocate for saying, hey, no, create your own tower moment and go ahead, be the reason why something is getting restructured at the moment. Put yourself into the mix and say, no, I see this area of my life needs to improve. Let me destroy it there And again, you don't have to be reckless as far as like, really, creating tension around people, places, and things. Although you shouldn't be afraid to go ahead and approach these things like, no, let me go ahead, put that structure in, put that force in, destroy that so I can start to rebuild. And if you do it now, you'll be rebuilding during the time, you'll be ahead of the curve. And honestly, when you really tapped into the energy and you understand what's going on, you already ahead of the curve. By having an intention, you already ahead of the curve, because 98% of the world don't even have an intention about what they doing. So they just wake up and just be invested in shit that's not even giving them nothing back. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Radical Tsunami. He said, "Cap season, let's go. Get out right." Exactly. It's really not about how you feel, and it's not about how nobody else feel. Straight up like that. You know what I'm saying? So you really gotta go ahead and just go for it. You know what I'm saying? Even though even it might seem like, I don't know how I don't know if it'll work or if it'll be received well. And that's not really what's out. You need to create that restructure in your life and stand on business with it. So it don't matter what another person say. Hey, again, a general don't care about the opinions of what soldiers is talking about. A boss doesn't give a fuck if your stomach hurt. I need you at work at 9 a.m. I need you on the clock. I need you on that register I need you on that register. I don't care if your stomach hurt. I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you tired. I don't care if you whatever you got going on in your life. Again, the CEO of that company don't care who, like, they don't care. They need that business to keep running. Kind of operate on that same level. Again, you could do it based upon who you are. So you don't gotta be cutthroat into the you know utmost degree. You don't got to put blood on your hands and burn bridges and all that, but you do have to take yourself more serious in the sense of, well, if this is I'm trying to accomplish, the things in my life that's making that more difficult, I need to assess why they're in my life in the first place. And even if let's say it's some life that you still want to keep it around, or like say a family member or something like that, and I ain't trying to cut ties with this family member, or this family member means well, it's like you can still it can still be respect there in the sense of, but it's putting them in a like putting them in a place. You know what I'm saying? Right. She said nobody want to hear your excuses. Boss up. Right. Exactly. Boss up. And anybody who's standing in your way, it's like I said, put them in their place. Like, look, this is my life. So if you don't like it, you can just go over there. You ain't got to look at what I'm doing. You ain't gonna be invested in what I'm doing, because it don't affect you. It don't involve you. It don't affect you, and it's not about you. So again, taking yourself serious is like, again, boss up for yourself. Yeah, like I'm bossing up for myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm bossing up for myself. And there's things I'm trying to build. And if people ain't on that same type of time, well, that just tells you where they at. You know what I'm saying? South Node Libra. You supposed to, again, well, I'll see you next lifetime. Shout out to Erica. I'll see you next lifetime. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. Next lifetime. It just be like that. Take your power back. Exactly. Never left. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing too. It's like you having that power, but it's like sometimes you just forget. You forget and you allow certain things to happen, and then before you know it, you really forgot. Oh, I'm a powerful motherfucker. I really ability to say no. I really got the ability to do what I want. I really got the ability to make it happen, to make my life better. I really had that ability. I always had it. Where'd it go? And you just forgot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a reminder time too. All this is supposed to be reminding you of all the times you probably did give your power away and it wasn't wanted. People that just didn't see the vision. They didn't get it. Oh well. You know what I'm saying? But the beautiful thing about it is that hey, we back. You know what I'm saying? The beautiful thing about it is that we in the present, and it's a gift in and of itself. I think Venus is in Aquarius, so that's also a sextile with the moon. So that's an opportunity for us to expand more on what it is that we actually do love, and even better if it's something that's unique to us. So the more unique it is that you of things that you value in and love, the more unique to you it is, the more ability to expand on it. And that could be beneficial for you, or it could be negative depending on what it is you actually value. And you might be valuing the things that lead to rebellion and opposition, whether from you or from others and things. Even that, you know what I'm saying? Also, the thing about Venus and Aquarius, it's there's a lot to learn when it comes to what it is that we actually truly value and uniqueness in the mix of it. Because, you know, and I think that's the thing right now too. A lot of people are kind of back and forth on what it is that they want to what it is that they want to not want to value, they're kind of offensive. It's like you got your uniqueness, but you kind of trying to figure out how it fits into the world, or how it fits into like this new era and things. Like you gotta keep in mind, like, this is a blank slate for all of us to just present it, you know. But at the same time too, another thing I wanted to make, Mars doesn't go direct until late February, right in time for Pisces season. So that's also creating a lot of that back and forth energy, where it's like something we're trying to formulate to create a new way to, you know, something new to be invested in, especially into 2025. It's like we getting ready to, like, we feel something on the rise, but we can't quite put our finger on it. So don't be alarmed or worried about not quite in the full aspect of it. It's not here yet. When it comes, it comes. But just kind of keeping it in this place, and don't let anything discourage you from kind of focusing in on what you're trying to formulate. Let that shit, like, you know what I'm saying, take that time to focus in on what it is you know you're supposed to be focusing in on, and allow it to come to you. And that's kind of my whole point too, of not forcing anything and not pushing anything further than it needs to go. At the moment, this is not the time to spring something new. You know what I'm saying? Right. Stay on that grind. Yeah, grind it out and continue to formulate it. Hard work you putting in that nobody else might acknowledge at the moment, the hard work you putting in does pay off. It always does. You know what I'm saying? So I like that this makes precision. And that precision aspect is the whole essence of oh, it's not perfect, but it's more precise. Like, as in, you know, sticking to the point. Everybody got a point. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you got a point and you're trying to get that point, you're trying to execute that plan, or you're trying to do that thing, you yourself is a form of intention and focus, and you need conviction for it. And all of that aspects kind of fit into the word precision. To be more precise, which is more precise to what you pointing at. So that, and when you more precise, in other people's minds, it's more clear. So it's a form of staying clear and making something clear for others to receive. And when others can receive it, this creates connection to it, what creates influence. That influence becomes, it's like an artist. An artist practices their craft. If you're a musician, you practice recording, practice your writing, you practice your abilities when it comes to performing, in order to be more precise, so that when you go to create again, you able to create something that looks like clarity. And that clarity means that it can translate to other people who receive that music and say, oh damn, I know exactly what they was talking about. I feel that way. I connect with that. I resonate with that. And then next thing you know, boom. You know what I'm saying? That's how you start to build that influence. And now you're somebody's favorite artist, because you got so precise with your craft. You was every time you express yourself now, you resonate with it. And now you're their favorite. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to McCoby. What's up? Yeah. But yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? I hit all the planets. I think I did. I think I missed Pluto and Aquarius. So the most talent Pluto. Me said biggest fan. hey, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Pluto and Aquarius, sextiling the moon and Sag, that's an opportunity for transformation, emotional transformation as well. So a lot of this expansion is supposed to expand you into something new, as far as a new way to feel about maybe what was on your mind, or what you and things like that. So again, try not to let it scare you. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a lot of new things going on, but don't make it something so it's not scary, man. It's not. Get over it. Honestly, it's on some boss up, but like they were saying, like Reed was saying, you gotta boss up right now. You can't be scared of it. So allow yourself to go through that transformation, because 9 times out of 10, that going through with that emotional transformation is going to allow you more space in your heart anyway to receive what it is that's really for you. When you're in that space, is, again, God can't give you nothing you can't handle. You receive things you can't handle when you're not being yourself. Point blank. When you're being yourself, look at it like, I'm attracting everything that I was built for. But when you're not being yourself and you hiding away and you trying to avoid how you feel, what you feel is negative. You have to accept that you feel negative at the moment. I feel bad about this. I feel sad. I'm in my feelings about this. If you feel, or I'm afraid of this, anxious about this, when you understand and are able to allow yourself to feel what you feel, you being honest. And that's one of the hardest things for humans to do. Be honest with themselves. You being honest, and that honesty allows you to actually work through those feelings. So if there are difficult negative feelings, hey, sometimes we're supposed to feel negative, but the whole point is you are not that. So that means you won't be that forever. You won't feel that because it's not you. It's something that you have to allow to pass through. People be locked in on certain feelings when they don't want to feel something, so they avoid it. And some people get invested into all things to distract them from it, and it's prolonging what's deep inside. And as it, like, again, think about, you spill some juice you spill some juice in a car, right? And it get, let's say it get in that little gear shift. If you clean it up, it's gone. If you sit, you ignore it, you spill juice there. So it's gonna get sticky, and then after a while, it's gonna get moldy. After a while, it's gonna start to stink. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, like, that's how people be with their feelings. They do something, it's a little negative, they spill some juice. So they don't want to clean it up. They don't want to just face how they feel, be honest with it, allow it to flow and pass through. Instead, they avoid it, they distract themselves, all kinds of ways. It becomes moldy. So it becomes and y'all know mold not only makes you sick, but it's hard to get rid. It sticks. You know what I'm saying? It seeps into it, and by the time it's making the smell, you can clean it all you want. That smell might still linger and shit like that. It's like milk. You know what I'm saying? That spoils and things like that. You're right. Exactly. You said avoidance ain't the answer. It'll consume you. Exactly. It'll consume you. It'll be and what that's what happens. And see, that by default is kind of the reason why, because you got to think, as a spirit, what is a spirit? No thing, right? The second you as a spirit got a feeling that you avoiding and let it simmer, guess what happens? You didn't process it, so it starts, it's in you. It starts to become you. You start to become it. You start to think that's your natural state. And then before you know it, thing out your mouth don't sound like the truth, because you have this feeling you lost it. You have this thing you still clinging on to. If y'all get what I'm saying, it's like you supposed to know things. So that means you supposed to process feelings and let them pass. And allow, and this is how you become light. This is how you become fluid, and they're not so stuck in nothing, right? These be the most pleasant people in your life. But when you get people who don't know how to process certain things, don't know how to regulate their own feelings, they become locked in on stuff. They become hard to buzz. They become, again, it's like you start to see it on them. So a person who's big life and shit like that, like a person who grows old and then all they do is sit and talk shit, and they never happy about nothing. Even young people who never happy about nothing, always upset about something, or somebody always doing something to them. They always the victim. They always this. They always sad. They never get in the, and again, this be 98% of human beings, because a lot of humans aren't taught this, and so they think they already feel. So the second they wake up, they take whatever feeling it is, and then they in that mood, and that becomes their personality, so on and so forth and shit like that. But the point of all this is to say, even if you in a negative feeling, you gotta face that truth. And it gets back to my point of God can't give you nothing you can't handle. If you're not being yourself, well, you're gonna get a bunch of things that it's gonna feel like you can't handle. And you might not actually, it might actually transform you. It might actually be something, because God didn't give you that. That's something you gave yourself. That's something you will let another extra person, place, a thing give you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, like, to get, you know what I'm saying, to get the most out of life and to live like, everything not gonna be smooth and happy and good. But I will say, if you're moving in truth, you being your real self, what you attract to you is only gonna be stuff that, it's like, kind of like when you know your own problem. I know what that is. I know how to handle that. I've seen that before. I already know. You know what I'm saying? So that starts to become the whole thing. It's like what you start to attract becomes things that you look at and say, damn, okay, it's that again. Okay, I know that pattern. I know that. I've been to that space before. Even if it's something you ain't experienced before, you understand the space of it. You understand it, and you able to even be more confident in addressing certain things that you start to encounter and experience in your life and things like that. Because you start to understand there's no, and being afraid, worrying about something ain't gonna fix it anyway. So might as well just face it and things like that. And again, easier said than done, But once you start doing it, you get familiar with it, and the more familiar you get with it, the better, and it starts to become clockwork. And that's like that shadow work on a level in which you actually whooping your shadow's ass. Well, you whooping your shadow's ass so much that your shadow started to become your friend. You know what I'm saying? But see, people who don't felt they shadow bully them. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know what happens with bullies. Soon as you whoop your ass or you just confront them, they chill out and they be your best friend. Cause they realize you know what I'm saying? So you gotta put your shadow in your place. You gotta like, yo, my shadow not my enemy. It just confused. It's me fighting myself. He said we like exactly, we locked in, twin. Said, hey, we cool. You know what I'm saying? We cool. You know what I'm saying? You gotta realize really trying to protect you. It just don't know how. You know what I'm saying? Like a bully. A bully trying to be your just don't know how. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fight you and shit like that. Or back in the day when like they used to say like when a girl's like when you real young, oh, if it mean to you, she like you or something like that. And it'd be the most confusing shit. But it's like she just don't know how to express that she like you. She confused. Yeah, it's the same thing with your shadow. Your shadow just confused, beating up on you. It's like Helga and Hey Arnold. And she just like she got all this love. She just don't know what to do with it. She like, I gotta beat your ass. And wait, it's a different way we can do this. That's how you gotta be with your shadow. Like, hold on. We can actually rule the world. We could do something better than getting me beat up. Yeah, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man. Anyway, let me see. Did I get everything? Yeah, Pluto, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter. We talked about that. Uranus. We talked about Mars. Did we talk about Mars? I think we did. I said it was trining. Yeah, Mercury. Talked about that. So I think we hit all the planets. If I miss some, it's all good because I'm gonna come right back and probably, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna break it down again, and I'll probably be able to have the whole part in front of me and all that good stuff. But I'm trying to think of what's coming up. Oh yeah, if you in Cali, um I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to see what's up. Like it's around June. Around June, I'm gonna be in. I think I'm gonna be in Cali. It depends, but I'll keep y'all posted. But I am trying to set something up. So if we could do like a mini creative pop up or something like that, you know what I'm saying? We can get some cameras out there. We can start to. I'll just hit me up if you in Cali and we'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually have a structure for it and things like that. Similar to what we was doing on Creators on Vacation, but a bit different, you know what I'm saying? Because that whole show, that was a show, that was a whole production. It won't be a whole production, but we gonna make something lit out of it. Shout out to Mac Dank up in here. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be cool. Yeah, hey man, we lighting it up 2025. I ain't gonna lie. So again, stop being scared. You know what I'm saying? Stop being scared. Gotta jump out, do what do, and let's continue to build. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all have a beautiful, what is it, Venus Day? It's Venus Day too. So yeah, jump in y'all Aquarius energies. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. Y'all have a beautiful Venus Day, and I will catch y'all on the next piece.